Hello everyone, welcome back to the course on Instrumentation and Process Control. Myself, Nidhi Mehta, Assistant Professor at Chemical Engineering Department, LJIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. So, let's just start our today's topic, which is Introduction to Process Control. So first we must understand that what is our purpose behind learning this particular course. Once you complete this course, you will be able to understand basic knowledge of process control, important terminologies which are related to process control, and major component of loop. So these are the outcome from this particular topic. So let's just start our today's session. As we all know that we are dealing with process control and instrumentation, or instrumentation and process control. The subject name itself depicts that it is a combination of two different topics. One is control part and one is instrumentation part. So we are here discussing initially process control part. So what do we mean by process control? Right? Basically, process control is a combination of engineering discipline that deals with architecture, algorithm for maintaining the output of a specific process with desired range. Right? And when it is combined with output, then it will be process control. Combined with output means that when you are controlling your process based on some desired output. Output may be of various types. It may be temperature, pressure, flow rate, liquid level, speed of the reaction, anything. Right. So based on that, when we are trying to control our process, then it is termed as process control. Now, so basically process control is active changing of process which is based on the results of process monitoring. When we continuously monitor our process and each and every parameter are changing based on the output which is coming from the process. That terminology is termed as process control. So, why we need process control? The basic need for process control is three important things. We need process control for maintaining the accuracy of our process. We need process control for maintaining safety of process and safety of our industry. We need process control for stability of our process. So, accuracy, stability and safety. These are the three most important parameters which are needed or which are reason why we are going to control our process. Next will be need for control and automation. Why we are automatic control switching off? Why we need to control and automate our system, right? So for that, the basic need for control and automation is safety. In a plant operation, especially when we are dealing with some hazardous product, some hazardous raw material or some hazardous reactions, at that particular instant, it is quite very essential for us to consider the safety parameter and to keep safety as topmost priority, right? So for that condition, we need control and automation side by side. Next is environmental regulations. Also we know that when we are installing industry, there will be some amount of waste which is being generated, and these waste or effluent need to be managed. So for that we need some control or automation through which we can know what is the amount, what is composition of waste which is going out, and how we need to stop or decrease that. Next is product specification. So the entire process of converting raw material into desired product is based on the market demand, right? So depending on what is the market demand, we need to ensure the quality of our product, and for that only we need to keep or maintain specification of product very precisely. We need to monitor it very precisely, right? Next is operational constraint. Operational constraint basically include various types of limitations that are associated with equipment. And lastly, economic part. Target of any business is basically to maximize the profit. So we need to control and automate so that we can determine the actual profit which we are making from our industry. Now coming to the important word or terminology, which is steady state system. So what do we mean by the term steady state system? Steady state refers to unchanging condition, right? When a process is said to be at steady state, when none of the variables of that process are changing with respect to time. Whenever we are dealing or talking with respect to parameters, it simply means any kind of variable. It can be temperature, pressure, composition, flow rate, anything, right? Whatever the variables of systems are, if they are not changing with respect to time, then such a system is termed as steady state system. Next is dynamic system. So as the word dynamic itself suggests that the cause movement, right? So whenever a system or process is said to be a dynamic system, when its variables or parameters are changing with respect to time. So if parameters or variables of any systems such as temperature, pressure, flow rate, composition, or any other parameter are changing with respect to time, then such systems are termed as dynamic systems. Now let's deal with some important terminologies of process control. The first and foremost important terminology of process control is control loop. If you want to understand what is process control, we must understand the control loop. So what do we mean by control loop? Here I have represented you one example to demonstrate the control loop. Suppose there is a cold winter night and you are sitting in front of a small fire, but that fire is still not sufficient to provide you that much comfort. So what you will do now? You will start throwing another log of wood in that particular fire. Why you are doing so? To increase the intensity of fire so that it can provide you comfort, right? So this is the basic example of control loop. So from this example, what we can understand is, variable in this example is what? Our temperature. We need to change the temperature so that we can get comfortable. So our variable, as you can see here, is temperature. What is our set point? our comfort level. We need to feel comfortable. So our set point is considered as comfort level. And what is action we are doing here? We are just adding more fuel by putting more log of wood inside that fire. We are trying to add more fuel so that the intensity of fire can be enhanced or increased, and hence we can feel comfortable, right? So this is the best example of control loop. Similarly, in industry also, control loop works, right? Measurement, comparison and adjustment. These are the three foremost parameters associated with control loop. We need to measure, we need to compare, and then we just need to adjust. So this is control loop. Now, coming to block diagram of control system, how we control any given system. So as you can see here, set point is something which we desire. So set point is our desired value which we are giving as input in our system. Set point goes into the controller, and controller will send signal to final control element, which will then get manipulated and sent to the process. So what we are doing here is, we'll take one small stream from the output which is known as control variable, and then we'll measure the value of output control variable using a measuring device, and that value is termed as measured signal. This measured signal is sent back into the control loop and into the controller. Controller will now compare set point which we desire and output given by the system in the form of measured signal, and when it will compare both the values, it will generate an error. That error is known as control signal. That error is sent to final control element. This final control element will try to manipulate the error using some physical transformation, and then that signal is sent into the process, and finally we can get our output as desired. So this is block diagram of a control system. Now, coming back to some important terminologies of control loop or process control. First is block diagram. So as we have already seen that block diagram is basically a pictorial representation that indicate flow of information around the control system, right? It will also show you function of each and every part of the system. Now, controller. Controller basically compares the set point and measured value, right? So, the objective of controller is to compare the set point and measured value or output given by the system. Final control element is working depending on the magnitude and sign of error which is being sent by the controller. Feedback control, the process which use information about the deviation of the system from desired state of control system, right? Whenever we are sending stream of output back into the control system, then it is known as feedback system. Positive feedback, if in case of positive feedback, the measured variable which we are sending into controller is added to the set point. So whenever we are adding our measured variable to the set point, it is termed as positive feedback system. And in case of negative feedback system, we are simply subtracting the measured variable from our set point. So whenever we are subtracting measured variable from the given set point, then it is known as negative feedback system. Hope all the topics which we have covered today are quite clear. Thank you.